ACC game. North Carolina, meanwhile, coming off a win at Kentucky. They have beaten Kansas as well. The Hoyas immediately go inside to Julius Halaifanua, and Halaifanua, who scored 16 in 3 of the last 4 games. So Georgetown, which is undersized in terms of height, will try to be very physical with the heels. Evans with a 3. That is a great sign for North Carolina.
It changes your energy, and Evans able to see one go through early.
Georgetown starting 5 featuring Halaifanua, who's rejected. Hoyas have a couple of great guards, Malik Mack and Lewis, preseason All-Big East. Caleb Williams, Isaiah Abraham. And there's the first shot for Caleb Wilson.
He won't say the best offensive rebounding team he's had, but one of the better ones. He also mentioned to you, of course, with Harrison Ingram and Armando Bacot, that was the best offensive rebounding team.
Here's a breakaway steal. KJ Lewis puts it in.
The Tar Heel faithful to see Evans off to an early, aggressive start. That's what they need to see more of from him.
Mack hits a 3 over the 6'10 Stevenson.
You walk away, of course, educated and entertained at the same time.
Evans around and out for 3. There's Veesaar. Wilson with a third chance, sticks it home.
Showing more of an aggressive attitude on the offensive end. He is a very capable three-point shooter. Hasn't shown up yet in the box score.
There's a 3 for Lewis. KJ Lewis driving off the back of the rim, and Lewis has 7 of the first 12.
Mack knocking down the 3.
Wild pass by Wilson is stolen by Lewis. Langston Love, great shooter, drills it. That will be reviewed at the next timeout. It's called a 2 on the floor. Here's Lewis. Little seal from Halaifanua, and a terrific finish for Lewis. Young inside to Veesaar. Double team comes quickly, leaves Dixon alone. There's Dixon again. Hard screen by Veesaar. Dixon, foul line. Jumper is good.
In years past, how their freshman guards have just grown in the non-conference game by game.
Hills are back in front. Only for a moment as Langston Love scores and gets fouled.
Time showing off his strength in the paint. Discards Jadon Young. And
shot clock down to 6 as Williams watches on the Georgetown bench. Here's Veesaar for 3.
Veesaar has that in his game. I love this from North Carolina, pressuring full court, but that's the one thing that cannot happen against the press. You cannot get beat and allow, as Lewis is able to attack Veesaar on that possession.
Yeah, he didn't get the dunk that he called, but he laid it in strong over his old teammate as Bogavac answers with a 3. Lewis was covered up by Stevenson. Here's Kayvon Mulready, sophomore from Worcester. A tough 2 at the end of the shot clock is grabbed and put back in by Fort.
In coming up with the offensive rebound, he's not used to being the guy that gets bullied.
Evans rolls it home in a first half 7.
Pray that a guy makes a shot so you can see the pass once again. That pass was unbelievable by Malik Mack.
Veesaar on the pocket pass from Evans in a Georgetown timeout.
A simple pocket pass gets a big dunk from the big fella here.
Dixon misses a 3, and it's rebounded by Powell and then turned over by Bogavac. Here's Lewis again.
But look at the steal and look at the 2 points. That's Williams sticking his nose in there. You can see Williams not afraid at all as he's defending Caleb Williams. Does a great job positioning himself to come up with the steal.
A little change up from Ed Cooley, who wants this to be a team that has an edge defensively. Williams inside Fort, stuck by Veesaar.
Nothing but trees along that front line for the Tar Heels.
Second block for their leading shot blocker of the year. Powell long 2 is good. Well, in the win over Kentucky, not just the baskets at the end. Veesaar from Powell, another finish.
Dodged a bullet on that possession. Powell got a great look out of the corner.
Mack sticks it in for 2, his second make. With 7 points, the North Carolina lead. 2.5 to go in this first half. Danger zone for Georgetown to not let this slip away before the break. That's a good start. Halaifanua.
As a defender, what can you do? That's often why we've seen so many different defenders in his way for the Hoyas.
It's a 3 for Halaifanua, just his 3rd of the year. 48%. Georgetown 44%. Teams have both struggled from 3. Wilson, Stevenson, Dixon. Got it.
Great ball movement, all initiated by.
So Williams will inbound. It was a 6.5 on Carolina. Here's a missed shot by Seal Joof in the lane. His first action. Then the offensive rebound and the putback. Regains possession. Wilson will try to back down Mack with 8 inches of height, and Wilson strokes the jumper. That's rebounded by Caleb Williams. 4th offensive rebound for Georgetown. Mack speeds around the baseline. Halaifanua takes the pass and scores it. 46-43, the UNC lead. Evans, Bogavac, Wilson, back-to-back buckets.
North Carolina, of course, no points off those turnovers, and that's one of the strengths of this Hoyas team. They get a shot on every possession, and when they get this guy shots, one thing about an Ed Cooley coach team, they're not going to beat themselves.
Halaifanua stuffed Wilson and then fouls him on the dunk try, and that's the 4th foul. Extended, missed the dunk through Jaden Fort. Mack in transition will leave it 3-pointer short, and the rebound spills out to Lewis. He has one thing on his mind, and he delivers it for 17 points. Veesaar sealed off his 8th rebound after his old Arizona teammate missed. Veesaar, Dixon, he's got another, and a season-high 12 for the freshman. Carolina breaks pressure again. Veesaar is going to shoot a 3. He's going to make it right over Lewis. First double-figure lead in the game. Stevenson extends it.
The second half, 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, getting production from multiple guys.
It's a 12-2 Tar Heel run as Malik Mack, who's had a tough shooting night.
That's the only reason it doesn't look as though he's got 16 and 8 on the way to another 20 and 10 performance, which is pretty much his averages, was at Georgetown.
Jeremiah Williams with a kick. Langston Love 3. That's a big shot. It gets Georgetown within 8, and it's a 7-0 Hoyas surge. Dixon, bounce pass, Powell. He gets it. Powell with his first 3 in 5 tries.
But the great answer from Jonathan Powell.
Here's Fort. Strong into Veesaar. Veesaar took a shot to the face. Fort blocked from in front and behind by Wilson and Stevenson. The Carolina once again has done its job on the glass. Dixon. Bogavac got it from the corner of the 9th, Carolina 3.
And that's the key for North Carolina. And he hasn't really forced the action much. I think the zone has really put him in a predicament where he's just trying to make the right play. Once again, that pass gets Stevenson a great look.
And then Veesaar, nobody put a body on. It's 7 foot 225.
Did keep hockey assists in the game of basketball. He would have a number of those, but he continues to make the right play as Derek Dixon's able to knock down the 2-pointer as the shot clock.
Here's Abraham, who rises and strokes the jumper for his first points.
4th, 5th guy is going to be. They have pretty much strong production on most nights between KJ Lewis, Malik Mack, and Caleb Williams.
Here's Wilson, who's got 13 rebounds for North Carolina, and hits a really pretty jumper there to get to 20. Already will drive it into Veesaar. Has got 4 fouls, lost control on the way up.
And they were that today against a number of tough guards to defend in Malik Mack, KJ Lewis. Lewis had a great first half, but really wasn't able to get much going here in the second.
Jumper by Moretti is short. Another rebound to Veesaar, an appropriate way for the game to end. He had 18 points and 15 rebounds. Wilson 20 points and 14 rebounds. And Carolina had length and strength to take down Georgetown. They pull away and win by 20.